Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. Website is usgamesinc.com. If you freeze frame there, you can take that information wherever you'd like to, of course. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. It's a 2002 publication, or this printing was anyway. But if you look up hayhouse.com on your favorite search engine, or if you look up Lucy Cavendish, I believe she's quite active still. So if you like her work, or maybe Jesse's, I don't know about Jesse's, but I haven't heard of Jesse since, but possible. Okay, what do we have for Sag? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Okay. Okay. Things have to change. Okay. Justice at the bottom. And there's one card pushing out beauty. Justice and beauty. It's kind of like making your peace with the situation. Something, is it ending? I don't know. I don't think anything's ending. Quick changes. Which, when I see this coming forward, because you're a fire sign, Sagittarius tends to deal with fast change as well. Tends to. I don't want to like stereotype that as like always, because I don't think always is right. Usually flows with it quite well. Kind of like, okay, this is happening. All right, let me just deal with it. It just keeps moving. Something comes in really quick. I think this is the energy bringing it in. I don't feel like is very compatible with you. You may not like this energy, or you just may not be comfortable with it. I'm not sure exactly which. Some of you just don't like this person, is what I'm getting. Others of you, how it's happening, I just don't like it. So it's either the person making the decision or the way it's playing out. One of the two, do not like. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Or whatever you mean, however that goes. Do not recommend. Do not like, do not want. But it's kind of like, when it does happen, it's kind of like, I don't feel like I have any type of choice. It's just happening. And as it's getting thrown towards me, it's like somebody throwing you a baseball. You're like, I just either got to catch it or let it hit the thing behind me. It's almost like somebody throwing a baseball really fast, or like they're whipping a baseball at you. And there's people around you that you like, and you're like, I can either catch it, and it's not a big deal, or I can let it hit where it's going to hit, but it could hurt somebody. It could hit somebody and hurt them if I don't catch it. Because if somebody gets hit with a baseball and they're not expecting it, that could literally break a bone. I mean, it could, especially depending on where somebody gets hit with it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the analogy I'm getting. It's like somebody's whipping a baseball at you, and you're like, oh, I can either catch it, and it's probably best for everybody, or I could just let it hit wherever it's going to hit, but somebody could seriously get hurt. So you catch it. You're like, you instantly make that decision, I'll just catch it, and you catch it. So once you have the baseball, you got to decide what to do with it next. And I feel like it's kind of like a game of hot potato. It's kind of like, I got it, now I got to get rid of it. What am I going to do with it? The trapped card is kind of like, as it just keeps happening, I don't have time to really overthink it. Am I going to catch it or not? I'm going to catch it. Bam. I got it. Now I have to get rid of it. You just launch it wherever it needs to go next. That's kind of this, gotta go, gotta do, gotta move. You're making quick decisions. You make really good quick decisions. In this situation, you're making a really good one. The whole situation is happening so fast you're not expecting it. I get the Tower here, but initially when I get, this is your challenge card, the change is very unwanted, and you don't like it when it happens, but when it's over, I feel like it's like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Like, I feel like once I'm done, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. I caught it, I threw it, it's over. I feel like it's not bad. When it's happening, I don't feel that way. But afterwards, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, that really wasn't that bad. That wasn't a big deal. Especially once I get to the intel afterwards, and I find out, oh, that's why they threw me the ball. Oh, and that's where I threw it. Oh, that was perfect. Oh, it really was. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that it was that perfect of a fit. but looks like it worked out great. After the fact, you seem to be very like, oh, okay, that's why. Oh, and I feel like I made a good decision. Didn't realize how good of a decision at the time, but cool, still good. Did the best I could, considering the situation. I'm glad it worked out. New phase comes in. I don't think there's an ending. Why do I keep getting that? Okay. The world is here, but there's not an ending. So it's like an upgrade. So it's kind of like when you have a one-story house, is what I'm getting, and then somebody adds 3 add-ons to it. But when it happens, it's with carpenters who know what they're doing. So they're like successful add-ons. Let's do that. Because sometimes people add things onto a house and it just doesn't work well. Let's just leave it at that. Because I feel like some of you know exactly what I mean when I'm saying that. If you don't worry about it. But it's like a small house that has 3 add-ons, but the add-ons are correct. They're correct. We're just going to say they're correct. And the situation doesn't even look the same anymore, but it was built off this. It's built off the same base. I think that's why we're getting the world, because it's transitioning into a much better situation. Upgrade, big upgrade though, like small house, 3 add-ons. So it's like there's a 1-story, 1-floor house, and it's got a second, and it's got a garage, and it's got the sunroom over here now. So it's like, whoa, that's a lot. It doesn't even seem like the same house anymore. And then it's almost like the inside has been changed. It doesn't even look like the same house anymore. Inside or out, if somebody grew up in that house and came back and visited it, they'd be like, this doesn't look like anything like the house I grew up in. Looks completely different. Because like even the walls, like some walls maybe, you know how you do renovations and sometimes you take out walls where you can, where the plans will allow, of course. So it may not, like the whole, everything looks different, but it's built on the main situation. So it's the same core, but it's so different. It's so much better. This is where this is going. It's a big change. Another big change. The 3 water signs were the same. Well, very similar anyway. Especially Pisces and Cancer, I want to say. I don't know why that matters, but a lot of transitions. Transitions forward. I feel like you're really going to like this next phase forward. You're going to fall in love with it because there's so much to do and so many different things to handle, and it seems like you're liking it. I feel like you're enjoying it. I feel like I get to be a part of a bunch of different pieces, and because I keep to go, I know the core piece, and I get to go and help these other pieces. I feel like I like it. I'm very happy. I know what's going on. I know the ins and outs. I'm a part of this. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of this. I'm a part of that. A lot to do. I feel very effective. I feel very versatile in this situation. Very good. I like it. And I feel like I'm kind of like blocking myself in, but I like it. Really? Okay. Well, for Sagittarius, I think I'm kind of surprised that... Well, you got the Sun card here. Okay. But it's like the situation is big enough that I feel like I'm trying to like secure myself in it so that I'm important. I want to secure myself here. So if I'm blocking myself in, you're doing it purposely is what I'm also getting. You're not doing that. It's not happening to you. You're deciding to do it because you want to be valued here and you want to be, and that just seems to work for you. You're blocking yourself in, but in a positive way. Like I want to lock myself in here. I don't know. You're blocking yourself in, and I'm kind of shocked. But I feel like you want to, because it kind of like helps. It's kind of like if I block myself into the situation, I'm gonna evolve with it. I'm gonna have more control over it. If I want to keep going here and I want to increase my value here, I gotta block myself in. But there's so much to do here that it doesn't bore me. So I'm choosing it. I don't have to, but I am. I'm still kind of shocked you're doing that. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense, because I'm like, for Sagittarius, that seems interesting. Because they're more free, you know, when I connect with Sagittarius, it's more of a free spirit, kind of like what needs to be done today, let me do this, let me do that. But I feel like you're securing yourself into that situation, and you're very happy to do so. Very happy. Like, I think this would make sense if I use the analogy of family. It's securing yourself with family to where what you're doing and being connected and staying connected and knowing what's going on, and kind of securing yourself in that sense. That makes more sense to me. Okay, that makes sense. Because, yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot that's going on in this situation, and I get the Seven of Pentacles with creativity. It's like it's a long process of whatever's going on, but there's so many pieces that you get to detail or customize the way you want. I think that's why you like this so much. Because there's a lot of this you can put your own personal touch on, and you can do it the way you want to, which makes it really fresh and interesting for you. Kind of like if I'm bored of doing it this way, I'll just change how I do it, and I seem to have the freedom to do it. Or I'll go and do a different, I'll hand this over to that person, and I'll help this person over here. Or maybe I'll trade jobs with somebody else, and I'll switch it off that way. Very, like the creativity that's a part of this too seems to you really seem to thrive on that. It keeps it fresh, it keeps it new. You seem to really like it. A lot of abundance coming in. Eight of Pentacles is telling me, I got the 7 and 8 of Pentacles, but there's a lot of communication here too. I feel like creativity is huge here. Long-term commitment, a lot going on. The abundance is, there's a lot of benefit here. I'm still getting creativity, even though this is the Knight of Swords. A lot of new information comes into the main situation, so it's almost like, you know, a lot of like ways to adapt and upgrade the inside of the house, the best way I can put it. Kind of like, yeah, the house, we're keeping the house, we're not moving, but we have a lot of land out back, and if I want to add a pool, and there's a lot of different shapes I can choose. If I want a pool, if I want a garden, do I want a pole barn out there? What do I want out there? What do I want to do? There's a lot more possibilities coming to you. So it's almost like, yeah, we had the main little house and we had 3 add-ons, but we don't have to stop there. We can, you know, we can do a pole barn, we can add a pool, we can get a garden going, we can get a couple little sheds outside. You know, we can actually add a 3rd floor if we deem it necessary. If we really deem it necessary, that sounds like a something, but there's so much more that keeps coming in for this. It keeps you very busy. So much creativity coming in. The longer it goes, the more creativity on your part makes this really flourish. Because I also see you kind of like fielding these creative designs and ideas, but for example, like the 3rd floor idea, kind of like, oh, we could do that. Then you're like, well, wait a minute. Would the 1st and 2nd floor be able to hold that weight? Is that a good idea? Is that really viable? Is that really smart? What would it take to make that happen? Or instead of doing a 3rd floor there, if we just like put a 2nd floor on top of the sunroom, because that's still just 1 story over there, so we could just extend the 2nd floor out that way. Maybe we could do that. The creativity and the active energy that keeps going here, I think that's what it is. It just seems like there's always something new to deal with, and I feel like that keeps you going. It all starts off with this weird start, and then it's afterwards that all this keeps unfolding. So whatever this is you're getting involved in, I feel like it's going to go well, and I feel like you're going to like it. It feels really good to me. I think that's what I got. Alright, so I think it's good. Yeah, alright, I'm going to shut it down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.